Well, the future in Seattle is not long past the beginning of this January. But first, just a note for the audience, because I don't know if they know this. Did you know Russell Wilson has never gotten an MVP vote? Wow, how unfair. Remember that ridiculous storyline? Oh, we're a long ways from whining about Russell Wilson not winning MVPs he never should have won. And now we're going to discuss about whether or not the Seahawks are actually one of the 5 worst teams in the sport. Because right now, they have the same record as the Jets, only more wins than the Lions, Texans, and Jaguars. It is not early in the year. In fact, the calendar's about to turn to December, and they're sitting on 3 wins. Now, obviously, Russell Wilson is too injured to play. You know, it kind of reminds me of another undersized quarterback that went to a couple different colleges that shouldn't be playing right now. But we can just argue about that later. Because Russell Wilson, when he was pantomiming the huddle and the 2-minute drill and the prayer and all of it, he was putting himself in the right mental space to play. What he should have been pantomiming was reading the defense and throwing to the open guy and not just throwing bullet passes at Gerald Everett's feet. But neither here nor there. Hindsight's 50-50. Or 2020. 50-50 is about his completion percentage last night. Here's the deal, Broussard. He wanted out this offseason. So did Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has responded by playing at an MVP level on the field for maybe the best team in football. Russell Wilson has responded by, through no fault of his own, getting hurt for the first time, having the worst year of his career for a truly awful Seattle team. I see no scenario, Broussard, where he wants to come back next year, and I'm not certain how devastated the Seahawks organization will be by that decision if he does decide to try to force their hand to have him move on.
I'm certain how devastated they'd be. It'd be horrible, Nick. Horrible. And that's why, if I'm Seattle, I can't believe you're going here. Unless Russell Wilson goes full-on Deshaun Watson in terms of holding out, I will never play another game, another snap for the Seattle Seahawks. I'll hold out. I've got enough money. Unless he does that in demanding a trade, I'm not even thinking about trading Russell Wilson. Fire Pete Carroll. Revamp the defense, revamp the offensive line. But I am not trading a Hall of Fame quarterback smack dab in the middle of his prime, Nick. You just don't do it. Because they may never get another talent like Russell Wilson. I don't care if you get a number 1 pick or 2 for Russell Wilson. We can go down a list of top 5 quarterback picks of the last few seasons and look at how a lot of them are doing and not panning out and not looking like they'll be half as good as Russell Wilson. So when you've got a guy like this, Nick, you keep him, period. Now, again, if he forces his way out, then now maybe you consider it if he really goes ham, so to speak. But if he is willing to stay and willing to build through it, then you do it. Nick, I'll throw this at you. Did New Orleans consider trading Drew Brees when they went 4 out of 5 seasons with 7-9 records? No, because he was a franchise quarterback who was going to be in the Hall of Fame. Did Pittsburgh consider trading Ben Roethlisberger when they missed the playoffs 2 straight years in the early 2010s? No, because he had won them a Super Bowl. All right, you don't do this. And so look at their history. They went the first 36 years of their franchise without a franchise quarterback. Now you've got one who's a Hall of Famer. You're not moving on from it. No.
Well, the Saints thing, there's 2 points on that real quick. One is they went 7-9 because the defense was terrible, but also if they would have traded Drew Brees, they would have gotten to, at minimum, the same amount of Super Bowls from that point forward as they did with Drew Brees because they never got back. Wow. So he was good and the team was okay and they made a conference championship game.
They should have traded.
But that's neither. No, I'm not saying they should have traded him, but it's also a different situation. But I get it, Wilds. The reason you can't trade Russell Wilson is because you might end up in some quarterback purgatory where, you're the fourth worst team in football. That's where they are right now. They're the fourth worst team in football. They got the same record as the Jets. Same record as the Jets. There's no getting around.
It's one
same
season.
Record as the Jets.
It's one season. And Russell was hurt for 3 games. I'm gonna give it to Bob, but it's one season. They were 12-4 a year ago, Nick. 12-4.
So they were 12-4 and he wanted out, Broussard. That's the weird part. So I don't know if he wanted out at 12-4. He got some of the things that he wanted, and now they are significantly worse. But here's what I will throw to you, Nick. Could this all be chalked up in a bizarre way to Pete Carroll and the Seahawks organization actually believing in Russ and trusting Russ? When the narrative of the offseason was, I don't get a say in stuff. You guys make moves and release guys, and you don't let me know. I want more say in, and I get hit too much. So Pete Carroll said, okay, if you say you're ready to come back, even though you just had a pin in your finger, then we'll let you come back. I believe in you. And in the most bizarre way, they've lost 3 in a row, and Russ has looked absolutely terrible. There's a part of me that thinks, maybe it's a little chestnut checkers. And Pete Carroll said, you know what? If you say you're ready, I'm rolling with you. I'm going to ride with you. And this is actually, in the most bizarre way in the world, making their relationship stronger.
Oh, I don't know if it's making their relationship stronger, but I do agree with most of what you said right before that. And it didn't help the situation that the Seahawks team doctor evidently went to the same medical school that the old White House doctor, Dr. Ronnie Jackson, went to when he released this statement. Although this was uncharted territory, I've never in my career seen such a severe injury to the throwing hand of a quarterback. I've also never encountered a player so committed to his post-op therapy with so much conviction to return to the same, if not better. He's going to be better. He's got a bionic hand level of performance
like
as he had pre-injury. He goes on to say, I'm amazed at his progress, so much so that I can confidently clear him for full return to play without reservation. Well, with respect, Dr. Steve Shin, I have reservation about your acumen on diagnosing hands, evidently, because if Russell Wilson's healthy, then evidently in the surgery when they removed a bone in his finger, they also removed his talent. So I'm going to assume he's not healthy and that he shouldn't be playing. But I mean, because if he's healthy, then he's just not good. That's not tenable to me. But Broussard, I understand the idea of you get a franchise quarterback, Broussard, you can never, ever let him go. But if you peaked with this guy 2 presidential terms ago, you've been good a bunch, but not great once since then. Is it not better for all parties to try to have a fresh start?
Well,
is that outrageous?
Decent take.
Look, you guys know, I would love to see Russell Wilson in Cleveland next year. I wouldn't mind seeing him with the Giants. I mean, it'd be fun, right? But if I'm looking at it from the Seahawks perspective, Nick, no, it is not better to start all over. I remember Jim Zorn. I remember Matt Hasselbeck, Seneca Wallace, Tavarius Jackson.
Got to a Super Bowl.
I'm not moving on for this. I am not moving on from Russell. It's one bad season. It's going to be likely the first losing season of his career. And I'm giving up? Come on, man. He's 33 years old in a sport where Tom Brady is 44 and Aaron Rodgers is about to turn 38 and they're still balling. I'm keeping him. Simple as that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.